Ji, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Prabhuji, we are not able to see that first slide where we start with the prayers.
Yes,
Or can I just
I'm
go
just
ahead?
bringing that up.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, I'll continue the prayers. So, yeah, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. So we begin our shloka recitation with our respectful obeisances to the beautiful deities of ISKCON, Sri Jagannath Mandir, Shishadripuram. बलदेवा प्रभु की जय, सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, लॉर्ड जगन्नाथा की जय, गौर निताई की जय, पंचतत्वा की जय, लॉर्ड परशुरामा की जय, लॉर्ड वामन देव की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय. And we say our prayers. ओम अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. नमो ओम विष्णुपादय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंदा. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining this morning chanting and shloka recitation session. So we are in chapter 10 and the opulence of the Absolute. And today we are reading shloka 10.14. Sarvameta manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danava. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. So here, Arjuna is accepting. So here Krishna has been Arjuna's teacher and Arjuna is his disciple. And after this long question and answer discussion, teaching which Arjuna received from Lord Krishna, he is accepting all that Lord Krishna has told him. He is accepting it as truth. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. So here, Arjuna is saying that neither the demons nor the demigods can understand Lord Krishna's personality. So that is a big challenge. If neither the demons nor the demigods can understand Lord Krishna, then what about humans? So Srila Prabhupada has emphasized that most of the people, if we see today, they are stuck somewhere with the impersonal conception about God, impersonal Brahman. They take it as Bhagwan. So most of the population is, if we see today, they are considering impersonal Brahman to be everything. But impersonal Brahman is an expansion of the rays of his personal body, of Lord Krishna's personal body, just like sunshine is an expansion of the rays of the sun god, Vivaswan. And Vivaswan, as we know from Bhagavad Gita, Vivaswan is a person in the sun globe, and Krishna is also a person who first spoke the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita long years before he spoke the same to Arjuna, 5,000 years back, when he spoke this to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He mentioned that this knowledge was shared to the Vivaswan long years before that, much before he told it to Arjuna. So therefore the conclusion here is that originally God is always a person, right? So impersonal Brahman is an emanation from the personal God, that is Lord Shri Krishna. In other words, God, the personal God, is not from impersonal Brahman. But impersonal Brahman is from the personal God, and this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Example given by Srila Prabhupada is that impersonal Brahman is resting on the personal God exactly like illumination of light is resting on the electric bulb, not that the electric bulb is resting on the illuminated light. So source of everything is Lord Shri Krishna, the person. And even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized this thing that if somebody gets or hears anything from a person who is following impersonalism, it is very difficult to free that person from that contamination, from that conditioning. So he cautioned us very much to stay away from hearing anything from the people who are practicing impersonalism. So this is very important. Krishna has also mentioned that never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, Arjuna, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So Krishna has personally said to Arjuna that in the past he was a person. So Krishna is a person. Very important thing to remember. Krishna as a person then says to Arjuna, who is also a person, that both of them existed in the past as a person and they'll continue to remain person in the future. So without knowing all this knowledge, a Mudha accepts the incarnation of God as coming from imperson, or considers that impersonal is everything. That is wrong. So Krishna is a person, he is a Bhagwan, and that is why Arjuna said that neither the demigods nor the demons understand. So what about humans? It is so difficult, and this is what is happening in present day. So much confusion. So Arjuna said that you, O Krishna, are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. And he further emphasizes that all the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa confirmed this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. So Arjuna is not just taking what Lord Shri Krishna has told him just like that. He's here saying that even the sages, the great sages, and he's giving names, they confirm this as truth, right? And then he further says that now Arjuna is saying that he totally accepts whatever Krishna has told him as truth, as perfect. He is not challenging Krishna. He is not saying accept portion of it, what you have told me, and I like the other portion, so I accept it. No, he's saying that he accepts all that what Lord Krishna has told him as perfect, as truth, completely, without any challenge, without any doubt. Neither the demigods nor the demons, oh Lord, can understand your personality. So parampara system. So these great personalities we just spoke of, who distribute the Vedic knowledge as it is accepted by all acharyas. So this is how the knowledge is transferred from one generation to another, or from guru to a disciple, through the acharyas, through the great personality. Therefore, Arjuna tells Krishna that he accepts whatever he says to be completely perfect. So Krishna is a person. How we can understand what Krishna is? We see that what Arjuna has taught us by his example, we have to reach that understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one has to accept the statement of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How is originally the Purusha a person? A devotee, sarvam etad dhritam manye. I accept everything you say to be true. Arjuna also says that the personality of Lord is very difficult to understand, and that he cannot be known even by great demigods, demons, etc. So this means that the Lord cannot even be known by the personalities greater than human beings. So how can a human being understand Lord Shri Krishna without becoming his devotee? For that, we need a parampara system, and we need mercy of a devotee. As mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is not possible to understand Krishna simply by studying the Vedas perfectly. One must have the mercy of a devotee. Yat padam. Unless one is favored by a devotee, he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So mercy of devotee is required. So knowledge transcends, is transferred from parampara system. So that is a mercy, and devotees preach that. Difficulty in understanding Krishna, Arjuna confirmed this in Bhagavad Gita, in the difficulty in understanding the personality of Krishna. The less intelligent class of men cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead without being favored by his devotee. So mercy is very much required, and this is the way to understand the truth about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we cannot understand the truth, the absolute truth about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Lord Shri Krishna, simply by logic, simply by using our logic, argument, or academic education. We must receive this bona fide information from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just as Arjuna received information when Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita. We have to accept the Bhagavad Gita or any other Vedic literature in good faith. And Arjuna accepted Bhagavad Gita in good faith. As mentioned in Nectar of Instruction, faith means strong faith. The words of Bhagavad Gita are authoritative instructions for faithful men. And whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is to be accepted as it is, without interpretation, incomplete. This is the way Arjuna accepted Bhagavad Gita, and we should learn from Arjuna how we can understand Bhagavad Gita, how we can accept Bhagavad Gita in good faith, in strong faith. And this is the correct way of understanding Bhagavad Gita, and this is called Shraddha. It is not that one accepts a portion of Bhagavad Gita according to his own whimsical interpretations and then rejects another portion. This is not Shraddha. Shraddha means accepting the instructions of Bhagavad Gita in their totality, especially the last instruction, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. This is what Lord Shri Krishna told to Arjuna. So surrender is required. And the requirement for understanding Bhagavad Gita, how Arjuna accepted instructions of Bhagavad Gita, when Bhagavad Gita was explained to Arjuna, how Arjuna accepted it. So after hearing Bhagavad Gita from Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Param Brahma, the Supreme Brahman. Every living being is Brahman, but the Supreme Living Being or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Brahman. And Param Dhama means he is the supreme rest for everything, of everything. So Lord Krishna is the supreme rest of everything, and he is Supreme Brahman. So a person is not required to be very highly advanced or educated. If one simply accepts what Krishna says, just like Arjuna, then without any change, without any changes, he accepts what Lord Shri Krishna has told, then that is bhakta. This is why Arjuna is accepted as bhaktosi. This is the bhakta's business. One should not think that Krishna is an ordinary person like oneself. This is the difference between a bhakta and non-bhakta. A bhakta knows that Krishna is an individual person, and I am also an individual person, but I am insignificant, a small spark of Krishna, whereas Krishna is all most powerful. This is understanding of Krishna. And Arjuna is a practical preacher. So through his behavior, faith, character, Arjuna is preaching. And what is he preaching? He has that one has to sacrifice everything for Krishna's sake. That is preaching. Sakalam eva vihaya durat. Through Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna will be the greatest example. Arjuna is like a role model for anybody who wants to understand Krishna, who wants to understand Bhagavad Gita. He is a perfect role model, how we should inquire, how we should take Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any changes. So Srila Prabhupada says that the scholars, so-called scholars, atheists, they accept this Bhagavad Gita on the principle of Ardha Kukuti Nyaya, in the Nyaya, in the logic. But this doesn't work. This faith and surrender is required. Accepting Bhagavad Gita as it is, because it's the word of the Lord himself. It's a message from the Lord himself. So the biggest lesson we can take from Arjuna is how he accepted Bhagavad Gita. Krishna he says that, Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever you are speaking, whatever you have spoken, I take it as it is. This is how we study Bhagavad Gita. So it looks like Arjuna was presenting himself as a fool, but he is not a fool. He's a very intelligent person. But he's creating the ground for Krishna speaking on Bhagavad Gita. And this is the principle. And that should be our principle. Srila Prabhupada says that why should we bother researching when the evidence is there from the authority, from the higher authority? Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever he says is all right. All the great acharyas accepted. Arjuna is accepting it. So should we? So we should accept it as it is. So, plus Krishna says, Matha Parataram Nanyat. There is no more superior being or superior authority than me. And if we accept that, then we are studying Bhagavad Gita. And if you cut the portion, if you cut the head and tail and you accept something which you like and something, other portion you reject, then that is not Bhagavad Gita. Then that is not studying. We have to take it as it is. And to become a representative of Krishna is not very difficult. To become a preacher, simply say what Krishna says, just as Arjuna accepted it. Then our knowledge is perfect because we are accepting things from the perfect source. So Arjuna showed this from his practical example, and a parampara system is required. In the case of Arjuna, he is taking it directly from Krishna. Although Krishna mentioned that this knowledge was given to Vivasvan, the sun god, much before Arjuna received it. So this disciplic succession is there, this parampara system is there, and we should also understand this knowledge through a parampara system. So spiritual master and the disciple, first of all, before accepting the spiritual master, we must find out whether Krishna's representative is there. And Arjuna surrendered it to Krishna, so the disciple has to surrender it to his guru. Arjuna said that Shishyaste Ham, I am your disciple. Similarly, everyone should surrender to Krishna, or Krishna as a representative, that is a spiritual master. So Prabhupada says that first of all we have to accept the parampara system, by the parampara system. That parampara, although is gone, Krishna says, therefore I'm speaking it to you again, the age-old system. He's telling it to Arjuna. This is not something new, but Purana, and you take it. So Arjuna is accepting it through parampara system, and this parampara system is continuing. We have a guru disciplic succession. Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's disciple, and understanding the way Arjuna understood it from Krishna, that is bhakti. Otherwise, it is this indistinct. There is no meaning if we use logic and our own whims. So, but if anyone has accepted the parampara system, just as Arjuna has understood, then he can speak on this Bhagavad Gita, then he can preach this message. Otherwise, Srila Prabhupada says that he has no right to speak anything, because he'll be concocting his own meaning, messages, deducting his own conclusions through logic. That is not the way to understand the scripture. That is not the way to understand Bhagavad Gita. So this is very important, because Arjuna is not an ordinary personality. He is very dear to Krishna. He is a very good friend and a disciple of Lord Shri Krishna. And when he says that it is difficult for the demigods and the demons to understand, then what to speak of the ordinary human being, and especially in this Kali Yuga. So, and the further emphasis is on parampara system and delivering the message as it is, just accepting the way Arjuna accepted it, and emulating the same method. So then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and then we can understand who is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that is the way to go. So I thank you all for joining this morning chanting and shloka recitation session. Please join again tomorrow for the next shloka. Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Matajis and Prabhujis. Thanks for joining. Hari Bol.